Hey everybody, welcome or welcome back to the channel. My name is Mike, and today we're going to take our first look at the new GYEON EcoWash SiO2 infused rinseless wash. So according to GYEON, this is SiO2 infused. Like I just said, it adds gloss and slickness to your surface, so there is a bit of lasting protection according to them, at least in their literature. That's kind of what you infer. I just got this on my hand, got this into my hands, I should say. They put it up on their website in the US a couple days ago, and it was delivered within a few days after that. So, in any event, what they claim is that, in fact, let me just keep holding this up here for brand recognition. But anyway, what they claim is that you can use this between 1 and 150 dilution ratio, or 1 to 256, which we're more familiar with. 1 to 256 is, of course, the 1 ounce for 2 gallons. 1 to 150, it basically, if you're going to mix up 2 gallons, it's 1 3/4 ounces per 2 gallons. So I don't know if it's going to have more cleaning power, or perhaps it's going to leave the surface slicker, perhaps. We'll test that out eventually here. So, like again, this is my first look here. No long-term testing done. This is purely first look, first impressions. But anyway, let's get going again. So the cost on this is $19.99. It's a 1 liter bottle, 1,000 milliliters, or 33.8 US ounces. That works out to 59 cents per ounce. And it could be mixed. I mentioned that the waterless wash, but they also claim you can mix it as a rinseless wash. They also claim you can mix it as a waterless wash between 1 to 10 and 1 to 15 dilution ratio. So personally, if I'm doing it as a waterless wash, I want the maximum amount of protection, surfactants in there, because you're not able to pre-spray, or you are able to pre-spray, but what you can't do though is usually use a dry rag to go on there. You're not using you're not pre-spraying and using a soaked towel or sponge on the surface. So I want to use, generally, I'm going to be using the 1 to 10 for a waterless wash, which is, if you have a 32 ounce container, you're going to just make it easy on yourself. Put 30 ounces of water in there, and then just mix up 3 ounces of the EcoWash. Pour it in there, your bottle will hold it, no problem. Mix it up, you have your 1 to 10 solution of waterless wash. Now what they also say is that you could use this as a drying aid as well. Drying aid mixed 1 to 20. So we're gonna test it out today, because I mixed up a bottle of 1 to 20 for a drying aid. What they do have, so you don't see, this is a new solid color. This is their redefined bottles. And they rebranded everything for earlier this year. What you can't see is that it is a milky white color. It's not yellow, it's not purple, it's not blue, it's not anything. And I mixed up 2 gallons in my clear Chemical Guys bucket here. And we're going to be using our double flip, our mitt slide, I should say, in the bucket. We have our dedicated ultra safe sponge from the rag company. You can see I have them all labeled here, because we don't want to mix sponges. We're going to be using the same sponges for always the same product. These are cheap enough. If you go to detailed image, $9.50 a piece as of the time of this recording, May 2024. Buy 2 or more, they're $9.50 a piece. Fantastic deal. These sponges are great. They're nice and soft, but we're going to put that sponge in there and let it soak for a sec. All right. Also, what we're going to be doing for testing, we're going to do half the car. We are going to also use because a lot of people, you don't want to use sponges. You feel that using a flip towel like this, or any high quality microfiber towel, is best with a rinseless wash, to have the towel in the solution, and then when you're done, you just take your towel and you throw it in a dirty bucket so that your wash solution never has grit or contaminants in it whatsoever. So we are also going to test that on half the car. We're going to use our double flip towels from Autofiber. So we're going to use 2 of them, and I like to start on the inside out on these, because when you get done with that, then you just flip them around, and it's a lot easier because of the way the stitching is. It's a lot easier to go from this to this. It's much quicker, and then you have two good surfaces. It's all personal choice, guys. So anyway, we got that going on, and we have mixed up in our Miralax pump sprayer so we could soak down the surface. And anyway, so with that said, oh, and one other thing, if you don't want to use, like I did, I mixed it up as a drying aid. If you don't want to do that, if you want a little bit more ceramic protection, you can apply the GYEON ceramic detailer as a spray on topper, and then, you know, dry. So without further ado, let's get to testing. All right, guys, so we're back with our Eco Wash from GYEON. So anyway, as I mentioned earlier, we are going to use the double flip towels. We have it soaking in the solution here. We have them in the solution, then we have our Rag Company sponge. Our mid-slide in our bucket, 2 gallons. I just mixed up 2 gallons. Usually I'd mix up a lot more to do the whole car. But anyway, what we're gonna do, we have a proper dirty car. This was driven in the rain. We got road film on the bottom here. I'm hoping that some of this gets picked up on camera. But so what we're gonna do is we're gonna spray this side of the car down, and then we're going to, with our double flip microfiber towels, we're gonna wash the back half of the car here, and then we're going to switch to our sponge and wash the front half. So I start by doing a pre-spray to encapsulate the dirt. Then I do a double rinse on the bottom of the door to flush out any excess dirt. I then take the double flip towel out of the solution. I want to squeeze it out as I don't want excessive dripping, but don't wring it out and remove too much. So as I work on the glass, you can see how the Eco Wash behaves on it, leaving small beads across the surface, and I'll do a close-up of that later. I then continue across the door panels, flipping the towel as necessary and noting that, you know, when I get it dirty on an area there. So I'm going to deposit the used towel into my cleaning bucket, then grab a clean one and go back over the dirtiest section. All right, and so we did the paint there, and now we're just going to make sure we get the wheel body molding there really good. And there we have it. Now this is drying very quickly. There's sun behind the clouds here. This is the shaded side of the car, but it's drying very quickly. I do see the polymer spots on the glass. I see a little bit in the paint here. So we are going to test out. We're going to see how well this dries, number one, to see if any of this comes off. So I'm just taking my drying towel and going across the door panel here. I did note that the Eco Wash alone felt slick enough with the towel that a drying aid did not seem to be needed. Let's get to the windows. I do see all the polymer spots. There's only, in fact, on the window, there's just 2 little spots that are still damp. But let's go across. Very little pressure. In fact, the only pressure I'm putting on this is just to keep the towel from falling on the ground. But even with that minimal pressure, there's no spots left behind on the glass at all. There we go. All right, so we have a completely dry panel here. What we're going to do on the back panel here, hopefully you could see. Let's see if we could turn this. Hopefully you could see that. We still have some wet. We're gonna use this as a drying aid now. This is again mixed 1 to 20. Very fine mist. In fact, let's just do this whole door again. We'll see how well this works, and we'll even do this. Super high concentration. I'm putting it on the glass. We'll do a whole bunch, because, you know, we want to test this. This is our test. All right, so we sprayed a bunch on here at 1 to 20. We want to see how well this works as a drying aid. No issues at all. In fact, this is making the surface super slick. If I take my towel and I go over the area where I just sprayed the drying aid, and again, this is SiO2 infused, it is definitely slicker feeling than where I just did the panel alone without any of that spray. And let's go to the window here. Is it streaking? No, in fact, I've only been using this one side of the towel. No streaking at all. If I flip it over to a dry side, no issues. No issues at all on the piano black. So we have, in fact, let's spray some more drying aid. We're just gonna spray the drying aid on here. It's quite a bit, but it's at 60 cents an ounce, 59 cents. You know, why not? Again, super slick as a drying aid. This is feeling super slick. Even on the paint now that it's dry. So that was even the wet side of the towel. It just soaks it all up. We'll get in here. But now if I take the dry side and go across, I mean, this is gliding across the surface. So even as a dry part of the towel, in fact, let me flip this over. And this is a completely dry section of the towel. Even completely dry, it is super slick going across. It feels like I've used a ceramic detailer on the paint itself. So while we let's bring you in here. While we let the water dry, because I want to, even at 1 to 20, I want to see how this dries on the surface, how easy it is to remove. So this is the, we use this as the drying aid. Without the, when we just use the Eco Wash, we had zero problems removing, no streaking whatsoever. When we wiped off the drying aid part on the glass here, there's zero streaking, zero water spots remaining. I want to see now if we let this dry what it's going to do. At the bottom, it is drying out. Up here though, we still have plenty of product. I'm going to respray this though because it's been sitting there for a few minutes. So we have our sponge. Now I found with these sponges, they work best. You don't want to, like, for example, on the DIY Legacy sponge, if you squeeze it out really good, like, I mean, you could squeeze it out quite a bit and there's still a lot of water left. With these, if you squeeze them out too much, I notice that they don't work so great with the rinseless washes. So we're going to soak it up, and I'm only going to do just kind of like that. So I still have plenty of water. You see there's still a bunch dripping out, but if I release it, well, actually that's a little bit much. It holds a lot of water, guys. So anyway, but now if I go like this, we're not, but anyway, let's do this. You could see there's still plenty of water. And we have the same, I'm not pressing down as I'm washing. In fact, now you can see that I don't have a ton of water dripping off of here. So this is exactly what we want. Now it is going to come out when I press into the door handle there, into the pocket. All right, but now we're going to flip and do the bottom half of the door here. All right, so we got the bottom half of the door done. Now what we're going to do I'm gonna put this on our mitt slide, rinse it out some, squeeze that out a little bit. And what I want to do, there's a little bit too much still. I wanted to go over again, go over the bottom half of the door here because it was extremely dirty. We had a lot of road film. Now what I will say is that on this, there was very little difference in feel between the where it was fairly clean. There was very little difference in feel from the clean to where we had all the road film. It's slick across the surface, and it cleans. It feels like it's cleaning extremely well. So let's keep going on the front half here. So I continue washing the front fender there and note an extremely dirty area there on the front bumper, and it came clean super easy with that EcoWash. Now, as I mentioned before, I have found that I need to use a sponge wetter than with the others, but because it's a rinseless, there still isn't a whole lot of water being used. You can also see the water behavior on the surface there, and we're going to get a close-up shot of that in a minute. Just so you could see what I'm talking about with the SiO2, hopefully that's in focus there. With the SiO2, there's a lot of this, I call it micro beading that you see. You can see the lines in which you wiped. That is how every SiO2 infused or based product, rinseless wash that I've tested so far, that's how they all act. And if we go back over here now, so this is our front window here. If we go to the back window, now it is, let's see, it's dry on the surface now. So this is dried, and if I take my finger, it actually, like you could feel a tackiness where it dried. So let's take our completely dry towel now, and we'll go across, and shockingly, if I buff, there's a little bit of streaking, but if I buff, it all came off. Where it was tacky up here, completely came off. I'm just getting in the corners of the window here in the glass. But everywhere, I mean, the product dried, it was tacky. You could even feel whatever was left over. There was like a big film, a thick film on the glass here. All of that just completely buffed off. There's no streaking left on the glass, and the glass is feeling super outrageously slick. Again, here you could see most of the window hopefully is there. We just have some water spotting left, and it just dries right off, no issues. On a rinseless wash job, you don't need some heavy duty towel. It just wipes right off because there's not much wash solution left on the surface. All right, so, and then again, so we didn't even use a drying aid there. The towel just slid across, but if we want, in fact, let me grab it. So again, I grab the EcoWash drying aid mix, spray it on, and it wipes off real easy with that drying towel, and there's no streaking at all. And the concentrated solution leaves the surface feeling really slick under both the towel and to the touch. Zero ceramic protection, and yet this surface is glossy as heck. This was polished a little bit ago, but not a fine polish just because I did the PPF. But in any event, this surface is super slick, super glossy, and you know, so far so good. My first impressions of this, if you like an SiO2 infused, if you want to leave a little bit of protection on your vehicle, I would say that the EcoWash is going to be a product that you're going to want at 59 cents an ounce. It's extremely cheap. That means even if you mix up a 4 gallon solution and put it, you know, in a wash sprayer or something, and you want to fill up your bucket even more and do a couple cars with it, I mean, you're only at $1.20 for the entire wash. I think that's fantastic. So anyway, guys, that's my first impressions of the new GYEON EcoWash. So thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, comment below. Let me know what you think of this video. Let me know what you think of this test. And we'll see you next time. Bye. Hey guys, just a quick update. So after I did the side there, I decided to hit the hood here. And we are in now direct sun. The sun came out from the clouds. Horizontal surface, direct sun. But anyway, so I washed this and I dried it, and you know, my towel got pretty damp, and so I dried most of it off, got my towel nice and wet, and I sprayed more on just to see if, you know, how it would work as a quick detailer. And what I found was that even though I was leaving, and hopefully you could see this in the correct light, but even if I left this so you could see the streaks of water being left behind, and this is not just plain water, this is the SiO2 infused, the drying aid. So if I spray a little bit more on here, you'll see. So even if I rub that in and left the streaks there, hopefully you can see the streaks. When they dry, there is no streaking whatsoever being left on the surface. And again, it is super slick, super smooth. But again, this is, you know, I'm not leaving any streaking. If I go over this, you can hopefully see that. And again, it just, boom, it just goes away. Nothing left that you can like visibly see even in sunlight. So anyway, I'm super impressed right now with the EcoWash. And if you like SiO2 infused protection stuff, go ahead and give it a shot if it's at your local distributor. I would not recommend paying the $19.99 plus shipping for just a bottle of it. If you find it at your local distributor or wherever you like to order it from, and you want to add it onto an order to try it out, give it a shot. I don't think you will be disappointed in any way. And so anyway, I'm out, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye.